Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with an updated deck profile, and today I'll be showing you guys my chain burn. So the build actually has gone through a lot of changes since the last build I showed you guys last week. After playtesting at my locals last week, I found a lot of different cards I could change to basically make some of my meta matchups a bit better and make the deck a bit more consistent. And since this is such a different version compared to older version of Chain Burn, even my last version, I figured I'd do the deck profile in a bit of a different way, where instead of showing you monsters and spells and traps, I'll actually show you first burn cards, then draw cards, then stall cards, just to show you kind of the even ratio I like to play with Chain Burn. So starting off with the burn cards, we of course have the 2 Chain Strike, the namesake of the deck, the triple Chest Desserts, triple Secret Barrel, triple Secret Blast, and then finally the 2 Ceasefire. Ceasefire is the new burn card in here. As you see, there's no Rain of Destruction, no Blazing Mirror Force. Basically, the reason for that is they're just not that good right now in the meta. I absolutely love the cards and love when they came out for Chain Burn. But when you look at, say, Blazing Mirror Force, for example, against Cosmo, if you're not killing them with the card, they can really easily just float down into monsters that can put enough damage on board to kill you when you consider the life that you take off of Blazing Mirror Force. And then Rain of Destruction, there's really nothing you can even hit against Cosmo because their ships you can't target their ships, and then their pilots can just tag out. And then, like against Burning Abyss with Blazing Mirror Force and Rain of Destruction, again, you're doing damage to yourself, and they can easily, just float into some monsters that, can potentially still kill you anyway if you don't kill them off of Rain of Destruction or Blazing Mirror Force. So that is why I decided to go, take those out of the build, and I decided to put in the Ceasefire just to basically put in another 2 burn cards to make sure I have enough burn in the deck to be able to win the game with it. And what's nice with this version is that you can get the extra 500 off of some of the effect monsters that you play. So that's it for the burn cards. For the draw cards, we have the 2 Absolute King Backjack. I reduced this down from 3 to 2 simply because I don't want to draw multiples of it. I don't want to draw multiple monsters in general, especially opening hand. Of course, this card's effect, each effect can only get off once per turn, so this card in multiples isn't really that useful. But I do consider it like a draw card because of the whole stacking your top 3 cards things can make it to where you can stack like a draw card and just gain more advantage that way. And of course, activating a card just does thin your deck out by 1, give you a free trap card potentially on your side of the field that you can use that turn. So that's why I kind of do consider it a draw card. Then we have the free card Demise for obvious reasons, the triple Pod Duality, triple Accumulated Fortune, and then finally the triple Reckless Greed. No card Cardi. I found in testing with playing the 2 card along with card Demise that it did conflict a bit too much. I felt like it was a bit of a waste of a normal summon, especially since I'm not playing any hand traps in this version anymore, like Battle Fader or Max C. So I felt like the draws a lot of times were kind of wasted. I didn't really want to clog it with Demise, so I decided to take them out. So now for the stall cards. Starting off, we have the 2 Metaion the Time Lord. I kind of like to consider this as the new boss monster for Chain Burn, since I obviously really can't play Lava Golem in here anymore with Demise. Time Lord's really interesting. If you don't know what he does, can't be special summoned from the deck. You can normal summon him without tributing if you control no monsters. He cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and I take no damage from attacks involving him. And then at the end of the battle phase, if he battles an opponent's monster, you return all other face-up monsters on the field to the hand except for himself. And then if that resolves, you burn the opponent for 300 times the amount of cards returned back to the hand. And then during your next standby phase, he gets shuffled back into the deck. So this serves a lot of different purposes in the deck. Obviously, it doesn't have that little bit of burn with the 300 you're doing to your opponent. It's spot removal for monsters on board that gets around floaters like the Cosmos ships, like Burning Abyss monsters. So it's really good for that. It also does give you potentially a turn of stall as well for your opponent's turn because of the fact that it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. It's a really hard monster for your opponent to get over sometimes. So just overall, Metaion the Time Lord at 2 I feel like is a really good card. And with the fact that it shuffles back into the deck, if it stays on board for your next standby phase, is really good because that means you can use it multiple times throughout the game if you do draw into it a second or even a third time. Then we have the 1 Electromagnetic Turtle. Just basically a Necro Gardener on Cracked, where you can banish it from the graveyard during your opponent's battle phase and the battle phase. And it does interact well with Demise because you don't mind discarding it off of Demise. Then we have the one day of peace, which is the staple in Chainburn. Then to replace the free blazing mirror force, we have the free drowning mirror force. This is kind of for the same reason why I decided to put in a Battalion of Time Lords, just to basically give myself a better Burning Abyss and a better Cosmo matchup. I really like this, especially with Chainburn, because a lot of times you're not leaving monsters on board and your opponent's getting direct attacks on you anyway, so that you don't really have to worry too much about this card resolving, and just being able to shuffle back all of their attack position monsters back into the deck. It's just so amazing. Makes it to where you're at least able to get one turn of stall, if not more, because it will take time for the opponent to actually recover from that. So that's why I do like the free drowning mirror force over blazing, at least in this format. Then we have the 2 Ojama Trio. You can consider this as a burn card as well, because it does add damage like your Secret Barrels, Secret Blasts, so on and so forth. But it's also a stall card because it takes up free of your opponent monster card zones, which makes it to where they can't put on as much damage on you. And it also is a really good hindrance card against Burning Abyss because it puts non-Burning Abyss monsters on their side of the field. Then for some more stall, we have the 2 Threatening Roar, and then finally the 2 Waboku. So that is it for the main deck, total of 40 cards. It is 13 burn cards, 14 draw cards, and 13 stall cards. So about as balanced as you can be between the ratios there. And as far as monster spells and traps, it's 5 monsters, 9 spells, and 26 traps. Now on to the side deck. So starting off, we have the Triple Maxi. This is mostly if you're going second against a Special Summon heavy deck like Burning Abyss, PK Fire, or Mermails. Then we have the 2 Fire Hand and 2 Ice Hand as a bit of an engine that can help you get over annoying cards. Ice Hand obviously helps you get over Royal Decree. Fire Hand can help you get over annoying monsters like Jinza, for example. It's a deck-fitting engine and also a bit of a stalling engine as well. Then we have the Triple MST, obviously for getting over Royal Decree and other annoying back row. Then we have the 2 Scapegoat, just mostly here as some extra stall power. I took out the Lava Golems in the side for this, since Battalion of Time Lord basically serves the same purpose. But I'll side in Scapegoat if I feel like I need a little bit more stalling, and it also just combos off very well with Ojama Trio. Then we have the 1 Dark Hole and 1 Raigeki to get rid of annoying monsters. And then finally we have the 1 Fairy Wind for some more backer removal that also burns the opponent. So that is it for this updated version of Chainburn. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.